Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And did I say good morning, everybody? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Hey, y'all listening to me? Because I got to tell y'all something. Guess who back in the house? This brother been on vacation for a week. Been to Tahiti, been to Mexico, been to been all over the place. This brother been traveling all over the place, been on vacation, just living it up, living la vida loco. But he back with us today. This is my brother from another mother, but we got those same father. This is Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family. How are you?
Hey, doing good, man. Look at here. Folks been asking me right and left, left and right, and side to side. Where Leonard at? And I'm gonna tell you,
Mm.
there he go right there. Yonder here. Yonder here. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Leonard, I got to do something, man. Before we do that, though, I want to go ahead, man, and ask you what's going on. This a lot been going on the last week or so in the political arena. Catch us up to speed, brother. What's going on?
What's most important is the fallout behind those people who now acting funny. They don't want to support the voters' rights bill. They want to be confusing. Okay, they want
Mm-hmm.
to have, they want to pretend, as they always do, that there's something else that can be done or what have you. And the message that we need to continue to send to the people that we have sent to Congress. There is no excuse
Mm-hmm.
for the voters' rights response to this past election and the GOP's constant refusal to, first of all, accept responsibility for attempted coup on the government,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all of the horrible behavior for those involved. Now we're seeing that a lot of folks have been trying to sweep it under the rug because they're included in the issue.
Come on.
We even have a Democratic individual who has sent out such a confusing message for some reason he can support John Lewis bill, but for
Mm.
some reason he has an issue with the actual nature of the voting rights bill. People who don't want to do the right thing, it's completely clear who they are.
Mm-hmm. Now it is.
This next election, they should be. We should respond to this attack on our democracy
Mm-hmm.
by not voting for these people and having them leave office.
Exactly.
We got our current president trying to repair our entire reputation with the rest of the world,
Mm-hmm.
while the GOP, if people don't know what it means, Grand Old Party, i.e., the Republican Party,
Mm-hmm.
still seem to be on the side of every enemy
Yes. Yes.
that we have.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they're always connected to someone disenfranchising or saying something that's controversial,
Mm-hmm.
only because we're trying to pass a bill that helps the majority of Americans. It helps working people. It helps students. It helps several groups of Americans
Mm-hmm.
as a response, definitely, to COVID and our hit the economy has taken. We have advanced so far as it relates to combating COVID, which was the number one priority of the incoming administration. We see all types of things that this president is trying to do
Mm-hmm.
that almost seem unprecedented. You're not going to just look at the dollar amount of the different of this infrastructure bill because the dollar amount shouldn't matter when it comes to repairing American citizens.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The bills and things that have been passed that show the continued assistance that a lot of individuals need, not just through PPP loans and things like that, but also the bill provides a lot of resources to people who may need help with mortgages, all types of things,
Mm-hmm.
even continued stipends for people to get on their feet. The only people against these types of measures seem to be those people on the other side of the fence politically, the
Mm-hmm.
Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to repay their gratitude when it comes to these elections and make sure that, one, we don't even have to worry about tiebreakers in the Senate or anything else. Republicans need to be removed from office, period.
Mm-hmm. Well, Leonard, you say a lot of times that the Republicans, they're not for the people anyway. You know, you voiced this many times. They're more or less for corporation and the business, so they don't care. They don't give a cow's cahoot about the people. And
Not really.
and
Not really. And
yeah.
it's evident.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard you
So
say that many times over.
I even haven't even heard any real good excuses anymore for being Republican, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, is truth of the matter. I've never liked the Republican Party. Truth of the matter, but they're not even the Republican Party anymore. Now they're more Trumpites. They whatever Trump says, and they'll follow him to the ends of the earth and jump. And so I don't know if anybody, and I think the person that you was talking about is that gentleman out of South Carolina that is kind of straddling the fence a little bit. That's been there for a long time. He's been there for a long time out of South Carolina. Am I correct when I assume that?
Is that where Manchin is from?
No, I was thinking about Clyburn.
I'm not talking about Senator Clyburn.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Joe Manchin, who has the Democratic supporter.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, but however, we can't have people jumping ship this way. Not even one
Mm-hmm.
senator should get a pass.
Mm-hmm.
A representative should get a pass for not supporting the voting rights bill.
Now,
this bill is about what this democracy should be about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not keeping people from voting.
Mm-hmm.
We should be encouraging people to vote.
Yes. Absolutely.
Not coming up ways to disenfranchise them by passing certain measures in these various states where we have seen this type of legislation that requires a greater burden on the American citizen to prove that they are an American citizen,
Mm-hmm.
or excuse me, that they are eligible to vote for any reason. But people don't understand when they talk about IDs and things of that nature. I voted the previous election simply by showing my carry concealed weapon permit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I did it perfectly.
And that should be enough.
But I just wanted to see that when I handed that person that CCW, they never asked me for anything else.
Mm-hmm. And
so why
should they?
Right. Well, see, this is the issue. When you start requiring specific IDs and things of that nature, and you're not really specific, you're just trying to disenfranchise some people by making it difficult for them to vote.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing wrong with absentee voting the way it was.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with increasing the days to vote, opening voting up on the weekends,
well, then I'm gonna say
making sure that people had adequate polling locations. Mm-hmm. There was nothing wrong with that.
Well, let me say, and you're absolutely right. There was nothing wrong with it until it went against what they wanted to do or the numbers that they was trying to get for themselves.
Exactly.
So that's where the problem came.
And people need to get out of their feelings and understand that feelings and strategy don't go together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to have a strategy to win.
Yeah.
Every team right now in the playoffs has a strategy to win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
exactly.
They're not trying to change the rules every game because they didn't win the last.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Republicans are doing right now. They know if the majority of Americans show up at the polls and vote, they will lose.
Every time.
So they have to come up with ways to disenfranchise
mm-hmm.
American voters.
And how sick is that, Leonard?
It's horrible. You know, you can't say you're surprised. It has been the same fight as it always has been since the 60s and things like that with the first civil rights acts that were passed. We know that this wasn't just accepted when it was passed.
Mm-hmm.
There was an entire history of Jim Crow. And then it's been found out that this whole effort to maintain white supremacy seems to be a global effort.
Yes.
Where some folks are dedicated to one particular thing, and that is maintaining white superiority.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the changing demographics of the American landscape and all over the world, they're fighting to maintain white superiority. This is how you know who they're wrong. I don't care how people feel about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You've been supporting a state that believes in apartheid.
Yes.
It's
Mm-hmm.
for these different faces. So we have known about this issue and have been supporting Israel and trying to champion Israel as one, those people still trying to pretend like they're such victims.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Such victims sold out of white superiority and the money that they've been receiving from the United States government for how long now? To do what? Further oppress Palestinians.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So let's not think that this is a small thing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to come out against this all over the world, and hopefully the younger generations are going to stay active on board and push these old, ridiculous, irrational individuals out of power simply by voting.
And they could do it. And
Yes,
they could do
we've
it.
already proven we can do
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's go local for a second. Now we got this mayor run. Bottoms already said that she's not going to be don't have any desires to be reelected, so she's not running. You got a couple other
Mhm.
people that's threw their hat in the arena, and I'm actual about a few of them. And you tell me what you think about them. And one being the old Mayor Reed. What do you think about
No, next, no, no,
him? Leonard,
no,
what kind of
no, no, no.
why is that a definitely no?
There's just too much corruption in this administration.
Well, I saw him on TV the other day. He was saying, "Well, they went through every part of my life with a fine tooth comb, and they found nothing."
Yes, I mean, well, if he's better than Mayor Bottom,
Mm-hmm.
we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Kasim Reed never should. I mean, he could have continued to run for mayor if he thought he was such a great mayor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know some I know some things about Mr. Reed that I would never repeat on here on air, but you and I talk about it later. What do you think about Moore? Yeah, yeah.
Felicia Moore has a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
However, she will also learn a lesson of trying to manipulate the voting public.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think
You've
of?
enjoyed you enjoyed the support of the citizens of Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
as the president of the city council. However, you have certain comments that you make
Mm-hmm.
shows that you don't have a real good outlook on what the city needs.
Mm-hmm.
First thing if you want to talk about what calling the National Guard for what reason? Why would you want power just to surrender it to the National Guard?
Mm-hmm.
For something as simple as something you should be working with a police chief to resolve.
Mm.
But yet you mentioned even before you're elected that you believe you should get the National Guard involved in simple criminal issues in the
Mm.
city.
Mm.
Why do we need you as mayor if you can't come up with a plan to reduce crime in the city?
Mm-hmm.
You would just turn it over to the National Guard.
Pass
Just why? Because
pass the buck.
you don't trust your police. I mean, think about it. You're the mayor. You get to choose whom you want to be police chief.
Mm-hmm.
You could have said, hey, here's a great person I think if I become mayor, I would be interested in choosing as
Mm-hmm.
police chief to help address the crime issue in the city of Atlanta. But no, you went directly to National Guard.
So is that almost like is that almost like she's saying she don't have any confidence in the Chiefs or
It's
anybody
so
that has that
simple.
position?
Exactly. I said, I'm tired of black faces that don't understand how to use power.
Mm-hmm.
No one else gets in there and negotiates with what they're going to do.
Yeah.
When them other people get in there, they don't negotiate with their power.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Captain Leonard.
They do what it is they say. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. We got a fella from Apololulu, Alabama, Mississippi on the line, man. That's your right hand man right there. This is Donald Toussaint. Donald Toussaint. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I had to call in because I wanted to watch this limit. I wanted to let Raheem know that I work every day.
So you want to call in just to tell me that?
Yeah, because he be like, "Where you at?"
Where you be ills? Where you be ills?
And I be saying like, "What? Where you think I'm at?" I want to eat. If a man don't work, he shouldn't eat.
Man, look at here. Oh no, man, you been
years. I done gained. Look, in the last 10 years, I done gained 60 pounds. So what do you think about that?
Good Lord. You've been doing a lot of eating, brother. You've been doing a lot of eating.
I'm telling you.
Hey, man.
How that's working out?
I don't know, brother. You got to tell me how that's working out, brother, because, you know, you eat hard, you sleep harder sometimes.
Well, there it is.
There you go.
There it is, then.
Hey, Toussaint.
What y'all got going this morning?
You heard that voice that ain't been on vacation for about a week and a half, man? You heard that voice?
What voice?
That voice right there. Hold on for a minute. A voice. There you go.
What's up, Leonard? Leonard.
What's going on?
What's really going on around the camp, man?
Hey, Leonard.
People are being who they are.
Mm-hmm.
See that? If you look, one thing about it, Leonard, some people, if they try to be something different, it's gonna be too noticeable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't be nobody but you. That's gonna be a surprise to you. You try to be somebody else.
Exactly. Now, Donald Leonard is educating us on the candidates that's running for mayor for the Atlanta.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he's educating.
Okay, that's good.
And we on Dickens right now. What do you say about Dickens?
Who is that?
Dickens.
See, that's why look. Let me share something. Let me share something with you, Raheem. Let me tell you what I do. When y'all start talking about the Atlanta area, that's why I usually wait till y'all finish because I haven't a clue. And one thing about we discussed this. One thing that I cannot do is have any relations with the Atlanta area.
Yeah, exactly. That's off limits.
Yeah,
totally.
I can't move there.
And
y'all are my only friends.
Look at and have when you come in, you have to sneak in. You have to sneak in and sneak back out.
And sneak back out. It ain't gonna be no overnight thing.
Oh no, sir. Ain't no you ain't seeing now pillow. You ain't seeing now pillow in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, not now.
Ain't gonna do it. No, but I'll just listen in for a while, and y'all go ahead and knock yourself out.
No, we only got about two more. Leonard, I think this is gonna be quick. Leonard, what you think about Dickens?
I don't have a personal opinion on Dickens because I'm not familiar with that individual.
Okay. Now, what about this young lady here? What's her name? Got stuff going on my computer. I'm trying to get to her name. Our Caucasian sister. What's her name?
You talking about Norwood?
No, Miss Gay. Sharon Gay.
I don't have a real strong opinion about either of those at this time because I really haven't seen much of what they've done. Really, it's just amazing to me that during the strongest periods that something is going on when you have Bottoms not running after it being fought so hard for her to become mayor.
Yeah,
I think there's something in the undertones of leadership in Atlanta right now.
Yeah,
and it has to be very careful because what you can fear the most could happen. And what could happen is that you have a major urban African American city where this type of race is going to look real different. Historically, African Americans have usually been able to secure power in the city of Atlanta. However, this changes the ball a little bit
Mm-hmm.
for the very simple fact that what is going to be the appeal to the citizens of Atlanta now to come out and vote for their mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Where are these huge changes that should have taken place? We know we had a lot of turmoil and a lot of strife and everything, and a lot of issues that came up out of nowhere with this previous administration, especially as it relates to dealing with COVID and this all of the unrest. However, you still have control of a voting block, and you have to appeal to that electorate in order to win. So let's hope that people are paying attention in the city of Atlanta and not getting into their feelings
Mm-hmm.
and fall into the trap of this just simple politics, and you just keep doing business as usual. You need to vote for a candidate that is going to promise to do the things that you want done.
Exactly.
Not the stomp speech, not the thing that they repeat every election, everywhere they run. Not that candidate.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good.
You need a brand new candidate
Mm-hmm.
with brand new ideas, but definitely leadership of an urban city with a history like Atlanta's.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Exactly.
can't be some Sambo, and it can't be some house Negro
Mm-hmm.
or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
It needs somebody to be someone that's promising to actually make changes and can explain it as clearly as a Stacey Abrams would be able to.
And they have to have a backbone. What about Antonio Brown?
They got to. Antonio Brown faces a lot of other types of issues around him running for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is a very diverse city. Even with African Americans, it's very diverse. Within the African American community,
Mm-hmm.
it is diverse.
Yeah.
However, you can't be in here tricking off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Ain't nobody got time for a charlatan,
Mm-hmm.
a blackface, just tap dancing or carrying on. Be careful of those people you are, allegedly representing, because they may not. You got to come up with a different game to get Atlanta to the polls to vote for you for mayor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you said it, man. Atlanta has a history of being an urban city. Atlanta, Detroit,
Yeah,
places like that, man. It has a history of being an urban city, and when people come here, they expect certain things, and we cannot lower the bar.
exactly.
We can't lower the bar. We cannot. And if we do that, then we're just as bad or worse than the other people that we're talking about if we lower the bar. But so there's a lot of responsibility that goes into this thing, and I just hope, and I know I will be voting, and I hope everybody else take the time and go out there and
Yes,
vote. Let your voice be heard, man. Why and if you
right.
don't let your voice be heard, I don't want to hear nothing about you talking about this ain't right and this ain't right. See, they ain't no 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 no. Did you vote,
Right.
bro? Did you vote? Nah, man, I ain't got time to vote. Bye. I don't even need to talk to you no more. If you want to talk about something else, we
Right.
can, but we're not gonna talk about this issue right here because you didn't even do your part.
Right. You're not serious. You're just part of the people complaining.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's all you're doing is just complaining. You're not about being about the change you want to see. You're just
Absolutely.
about complaining. And
Mm-hmm.
and what even hurts it more is when you try to talk to other people out of voting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, they don't
You,
need you
you,
going.
you you might as well be over there with the GOP
Yep. And
because
truth
you're
of
working for them.
truth of the matter, a piece or a part of you is over there because you telling people not to vote.
Yes.
You with them. You with them.
Now they'll argue, debate you, and
Mm-hmm.
brother, we see through that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We see through all that. We see through your went to the HBCU. We see through your what you say you've been doing in the community. We see through that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're not an activist, you're not an activist. Don't
Mm-hmm.
try to sell that story.
Exactly. Exactly. Toussaint,
Don't talk about change if you've been fighting the problem all this time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
I tell you, I can add to that. I guess I'll take away from one thing. People, promises. People make promises, and they want to have a giveaway in your neighborhood, and you fall for the okie doke. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, check it out. Check your candidates out. Because just because they give you a free sandwich, that don't mean they're good for politics.
Exactly.
Because it's a game. I mean, they treat us like it's a game. And then when we fall short in our neighborhoods, then whose fault is it? You put them in there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just say, well, you know what, I'm gonna be mayor, or I'm gonna be chief of police, or I'm gonna be this. The people vote them in. So check them out. Find out what they're all about. Find out what comes out of their mouth is actually what's in their heart. And another thing is sometimes people have good intentions, but good intentions ain't worth it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let me do this
in
right here.
Politics.
Exactly. I'm gonna do this right here because it's this young lady here. She's if I'm not mistaken, I hope I'm not talking out of turn. I think she's going home to glory, but it's her birthday today, and I'm gonna tell you something. This young lady right here, y'all both gonna know as soon as I play. Y'all gonna know who it is. But she's one of the quickest young ladies on TV. She had to be one of the quickest young ladies on TV. Now I don't know this clip. Like I should know this clip. I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna say happy birthday to her. Leonard, you ready? Captain Leonard, you ready?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, and we got our Rico on the line. Rico, we coming to you just 1 second, brother. Hold on for 1 second.
Florence, if you can point yourself in Mrs. Van Morris's direction, I'm sure she would like some champagne.
Thank you, but you should pour from the left, dear. Really? Yes, dear. Well, I'll remember that, sweetheart.
Florence, maybe Mr. Van Morris would like some champagne.
Yes, as long as it is not a domestic.
Yes, we loathe domestics. Well, speaking as a domestic, I'm not real fond of you either.
What? Where is your copper smelting plant?
This is unforgivable. Mrs. Jefferson, I insist that you reprimand her at once.
Take it easy, Mrs. Van Morris.
Take it easy. That woman should be put in her place. Not by you, sweetheart.
Would you like some more champagne, Mr. Smelt?
Well, Mrs. Jefferson, would you tell this woman to whom she is speaking?
Oh, why, certainly, Mrs. Van Morris. Florence, you are speaking to a jackass.
Oh, Lord.
That woman just called my wife a jackass. I don't believe it.
Me neither. You should have dropped the jack.
We could the clip is a little longer than that, man. But happy birthday, Florence. Happy heavenly birthday, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Florence always, regardless of where I saw Marla Gibbs, absolutely. Everywhere I saw her, man, she always made me laugh, man. She had a quickness and a wit, almost like a Robert Guillaume. Ain't that how you say his name, Guillaume? Benson.
You did good. You did pretty good, Guillaume.
Yes, sir. Tell me, and we're gonna go to Rico. We got Dawn on the line as well. But tell me about your Florence moment, man.
I think one of my favorites. I like every time when the doorbell rings and Jefferson said, "Florence, somebody's at the door," and she tells him, "Well, why don't you get it?" I mean, he's not doing nothing. Why don't you get it? That always makes me laugh when he says, "Florence do AMC, which is her job," and she responds and says, "You closer to the door. Why don't you get it?"
Hold up. I remember
He
that.
always come back with, "What do I pay you for?"
And I know she had something. She always got some kind of quick comeback. So she said something to that. She said something. But Tucson, what is
Yeah.
what's your favorite Florence moment? Tucson, you there? Wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. I don't know what has happened to Donald Tucson, but we'll get him back in a little bit. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, how everybody doing, man? Grand Rising, everybody.
Good deal, good deal. Tell me about your favorite Florence moment, man. I know you looked at them. Well, you, not just the Jefferson. She's been on a lot of different things, but what is one of your favorite Florence moments?
Too many of them. She had one every show.
Yeah, exactly.
She had one every show. She went against the grain. She stood her ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can associate with Florence because Florence had a lot of self-respect.
Yeah.
About herself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as I was thinking about that, I was like, man, it's crazy how you really have to learn to tell the difference between self-respect and pride, because they say pride is a sin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you're not careful, you really can't tell the difference between them. You got to do a lot of deep thought.
Mm-hmm.
Go and do a lot of dissecting just to try to understand the difference between pride and self-respect. Because with that clip you were playing, some people could have looked at that and look, you know, you sure are, you got too much pride.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know your place. You need to humble yourself. But the next person might have been like, hey, I don't care if I'm a man or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what your position or title is.
Yeah.
You put your pants on one leg at a time, just like me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And so I'm going to treat you as such.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I guess the other time to humble yourself or cower down, and then another time to stand up for yourself. But it really is hard to tell the difference between self-respect and pride. And I'm just wondering, if pride being considered a sin is an unconscious programming to make people not have so much self-respect for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know what? Leonard, would have been funny to me. I would have loved to have seen this right here episode, and it would have taken some very creative writers to get this done. But what if Aunt Esther would have visited one of the episodes of the Jeffersons, or vice versa? Florence would have visited the Sanford and Son, and they had their little moment. Because both of them was quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sanford and Son is my favorite show of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Fox is my favorite comedian of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It was real. So, you know, I think they both were some different shows.
But Leonard, but Red Fox wasn't clean. He wasn't clean.
I don't care, man. I've been listening to Red Fox records, Laugh at the Party records since I was a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
I have the majority of the albums that he did record, with maybe I'm missing maybe one or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I have them because I've always loved Red Fox.
Yeah.
And there is they're two very different shows.
Mm-hmm.
But the LaWanda Page's character and the character that Marla Gibbs played, they couldn't be in the same screen. That's too much. That's too much.
Yeah.
There's too much power on one screen.
but that little 2 minutes, whatever, however long it'll be, will be that scene will be historic, man. Just that one scene. You look at that episode over and over just for them 2 minutes.
Yes, it would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It would be hilarious to see, you know, because you got to remember, Sanford and Son is primarily a West Coast show.
Yeah.
And the Jeffersons is completely East Coast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it's so funny because it's two completely different, like, say, for instance, their whole perception of success on the different shows. Fred Sanford is completely satisfied with his success.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur. You know, and it's like he expanded, got a lot. But, you know, at least remember they actually purchased the Stanford Arms, which was their rental property and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And here you got the Jeffersons, whose wife was actually a maid.
Mm-hmm.
and she's married to this young black man who built an empire from dry cleaning, and now they living high off the hall on in the rich part of town now. And how even the what character was that? Mrs. Jefferson's character had a lot of them scenes where she identified with Florence.
Yeah.
Or where they didn't realize that she was Mrs. Jefferson, the one that was married and owned the place. And even the time that she played the maid, remember?
Yeah.
That Florence had told someone that she was married to this rich man, and she told people that she was Mrs. Jefferson.
I remember that one.
Oh man, that was even hilarious when you think of those episodes. But those was groundbreaking shows during the time where you finally heard black people expressing themselves openly and challenging white people and challenging racism and challenging the stereotypes and everything. So the shows was really good there.
Exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man. I don't know if they probably could have been good together, but sometimes you have to just, enjoy things for what they are. Sometimes you put two things together and they won't work out. Like I like watermelon and watermelon and pizza, but I'm pretty sure they won't go good together.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, they do.
So, I think they were just perfect in their element. The scripts were written just perfect, and it would have been hard. Like Leonard said, it would have been hard to actually try to match those sitcoms up to even get it. I mean, sometimes you could try too hard to make something funny. Or you could try too hard to make somebody good, like putting a super team together with basketball. But you get all these players together and they're a bunch of prima donnas. They're not team players. You got a bunch of superstars looking for individual stats.
Yeah.
So now you can't get this team to work together. So I mean, it's hard to say what could have happened if you could have got Esther and Florence on the show together. But I do appreciate both of them in the element they were in.
Exactly.
But I was gonna tell you, you're gonna get Trump on you.
What happened?
Trump gonna come for you. He gonna add you to the fake news list. Marla Gibbs is not dead, man.
She ain't dead.
She said happy heavenly birthday. Man, no, man.
That's why I said I wasn't sure. That's why I said if she is, I wasn't sure. I thought I saw that she had passed though.
Marla Gibbs, she may be about what, 90?
Yeah.
About 90 years old. Yeah. She's not 90, man. Trump gonna be all. If Trump run again, he's blaming you too. DKM.
Come on now. No, we don't want no part. We don't want no parts of it. But I don't know why, and that's why I say just in case, because I wasn't sure whether she had passed. I thought I saw something say she had passed though. I'm glad she hasn't. Good.
But see, a lot of times they come out and they'll kill folk off in a minute.
Yeah.
But I think she's about 90 years old. And I'm trying to think what I saw her in last. I can't.
Was it a Tyler Perry movie or something?
Yeah, I think it was a Tyler Perry movie that I saw her in last. But I think you ain't confusing her with Miss Tyson, are you?
I know Miss Tyson passed. I know she passed. That broke my heart right there, man.
But I think they had rumors that Marla Gibbs had passed, but that's not. I don't believe that's true. I haven't seen anything saying she's passed.
Okay, good to have her still here with us. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
No, it was her birthday the other day. What's the day? 14th.
No, her birthday's today. That's why I wanted to acknowledge her, because her birthday's today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, what I like about these shows that we're talking about, they made clear of racism and they made it humorous, but it was real. Because I would used to love when George Jefferson and Archie Bunker get together.
Wow.
That was good.
That was good. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. But one thing about then I think Leonard said it and Rico said it, they had a different look, Sanford and the Jefferson. Take a good look at success because Fred Sanford say his empire that he built with his own hand.
I'm gonna leave all this to you one day. I'm gonna leave all this to you one day.
Yeah, leave.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna leave it all
You
to
couldn't
you.
have Florence and Esther on the same show. I don't think. I don't think you could. They'd probably be fighting on the show.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have been good. No. But yeah, man, I'm listening in on y'all, man. Y'all gotta excuse me. I been off for a few days and I have to observe what has already happened while I was gone. And then I have to see what I would have to do about it.
There you go.
So I'm just listening in, but great topic, man. These shows was hilarious, but at the same time, it showed us what really went on, or really was going on, and how people felt about different types of people. But they put it in its perspective, but they made it funny. But it was reality at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. We're going to jump over to our topic for the day, and this topic right here is broad. It's open topic because it's certainly not all of us are of a certain age, and we know who we are and hopefully where we're going and different things of that nature. Don't know the complete journey, but the question I'm asking is this: are your dreams yours? Because sometimes a lot of times we'll try to live out our dreams throughout our kids, or we'll try to pour different things into them, or have people go in a direction that has nothing to do with their dreams or their personal aspirations for themselves. So Rico asking the question: are your dreams real? And like I said, not again, it's not personal. It's not personalized for us. We're talking as a whole right now.
Oh man, as a whole,
yes,
that's still hard. That's still hard to answer because some people's, well, I mean, we all can't have the same dream as a whole. You know, you would think that maybe after Martin Luther King spoke about his dream that we would all be on that same page, but by judging what's going on within our communities, we are. Everybody got different goals, different agendas, different values and standards that they live by. And so, you know, it's really hard to put that in the same box with everybody, you know, as a whole, all our dreams are ours. I can say for the most part, I think the direction we are going in is not, let me see. I'm going to say it's not from where we should be going. I'll put it to you that way. I think coming from the Black community, well, not just the Black community, from the human community, we are going down the road that we should as in humanity. Now, socially, you know what I'm saying? We still have people in third world countries without water. I was looking at a video this morning, as a matter of fact, about people going to the Congo to get rich and how basic the startups are. They got a lot of things over there they still need. And so, you know, just in America, we still have these problems with children lacking sufficient needs with healthcare, education. But we still have others with goals that just want to make it and be successful, whatever that definition is. So, you know, it's really hard to say that we got the values going in the direction that we should be going. I think we're actually sort of contradicting ourselves or maybe working against ourselves. You know, we're going for progress, but at the same time, some of the things we do work against progress. So it's really hard to say we're going to, if our dreams are our dreams. I really feel like we're trying to live white people's ideology, white people's values, what white people put up as a standard. We embrace those as our standards. Therefore, we don't have the unity in our community the way we should, because we come from a different culture that actually was about community more. Now we live in a culture where everybody is for self. So now we actually don't know which way we're going. 1 minute we want community, but 1 minute we want to look out for ourselves. And we don't know which one we want to choose. So, I mean, if you really don't know which direction you're going in, you're probably always looking at somebody else's values and choosing those as your dreams and ambitions.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Now, Leonard, do a lot of times in some situations, do some parents, and I say some parents, try to live out their dreams through their children's, and don't let and don't really listen to what the child say about what they want to do. I saw, and then we talking about television earlier. I saw an episode of Cosby Show where they wanted her to, I think, be a doctor or something like that, and their husband, I can't remember what his name is, Eldrin, whatever his name was, wanted to open up a farm store, and so she followed her husband down there, and Bill and Cliff and Claire had a real issue with that. But if that was her dreams, don't she have the right to follow her own dreams? Do we infiltrate our children sometimes too much?
Well, you know what? I think that's more popular as a topic on TV shows
Mm-hmm.
because one, there is, I don't think very much of that in the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people have, have desires and things like that.
Let me
I've
step
heard,
in one second.
what become
Let me step in 1 second, Leonard, and I'm glad you said it like that, man. But sometimes in the African culture, in the African, not African American, but in the African culture, I think they do push their children to be doctors or lawyers or something like that. Be something,
yes,
a professional person. Okay, go ahead.
yes, but that's not really African American.
No, not at all.
So, we have people who are more caught up into, we're a lot more liberal,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you can use a good word to use,
Mm-hmm.
liberal, when it comes to certain things. I think it's healthy to want your children to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything wrong for that. Most of the people that are arguing against it are people who are doing absolutely nothing at all.
Mm-hmm. Themselves, yeah.
They're doing nothing at all.
Mm-hmm. And so they're
So,
comfortable.
the
They're comfortable
notion,
with the child sitting on the porch with them all day long.
right? However, and then we have our young people
Mm-hmm.
who don't take anyone's advice and believe that somehow their situation is going to be so different that they're not going to fall into the trap that so many other people have fallen into. And a lot of times it's just arrogance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just arrogance. The only reason why you have a choice is because of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why you can sit there and talk about what you don't want to do is because you're sitting in somebody else's house eating their food
Mm-hmm.
and they paying your bills.
Wow.
So if your plan don't include that or being able to provide that for yourself, you need to find another plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there's holes in your plan.
It's
and
not.
this notion that, well, I should be able to choose, yes, okay, fine, on your own dime.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want on
Yeah.
your own dime.
Mm-hmm.
Make all the mistakes you want. You don't owe nobody no explanation. You don't have to talk about it with them. If you so big on your choice and your dream, then you put up everything. You invest all that you have in the dream that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect other people to.
Exactly. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
It's another beautiful day.
There you go. We're talking about are your dreams yours, or do we sometimes try to pour our hopes and aspirations into somebody else and try to make them go the way that we think that they should go? Do we sometimes try and overpower people into doing what we want them to do and not pursuing their own dreams, namely our children?
I think there are people out there that do.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something that I think folks should think about. Are they pushing themselves on their children? To making them do something that maybe they have no interest in whatsoever. Not every kid wants to be a lawyer or a doctor or a politician or a basketball player or a football player. Maybe they want to be an engineer. Maybe they want to be an astronaut. Maybe a firefighter. Shoot, maybe a counselor. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? But yeah, I don't know how many times I've seen kids pushed to play sports or do things, and you can just see them every time the subject's brought up or anything. You can just see them like kind of they go from like being happy and cheerful about whatever the topic was. Then they start holding their head low and just start mumbling and stuff. They have no interest in those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But does the parents listen? No. You know.
Wow.
But I mean, that's just things all across the board, though. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I was glad you came back around because it's somewhat hard to try to answer that question as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So now, like the way they just did it, you have to break it down because that's situational. Every parent doesn't live through their child. Some of these parents have achieved their dreams and they're leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
They're influencing their children because they are successful in what they did. So they're showing them how to achieve their dreams, whether it's going in their footsteps or going in another direction. Still showing them the mindset that they have to accomplish those goals. But now you do have some that maybe they didn't have the access, or maybe they wasn't as confident when they were young as they are now. Maybe they didn't start working out and lifting weights till they got older, and now they on that, well, I woulda, I coulda, I shoulda.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're gonna do, they're gonna put it into their children, but they still don't know the proper way to get the children involved because they never played.
Yeah.
But now you forcing it. You're getting angry. You're getting frustrated. You're not patient because they're not performing. You're impatient. They're not performing as quick as other children. You don't know you have to get out there on your own and work with them to get them to this certain place.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're just not interested.
Wow.
Maybe you're ignoring what they're really good at.
Mm-hmm.
See, like I remember when I first left from living with my mother, I was probably with my daddy for about 3 weeks, and then I went to my grandmama's house. But he still had to sign me up for everything, my classes. Told me, Dad, I want to play football. This time I should be able to play football, and I happen to hear it's your daddy trying to pay for it and this and that. Just do it. I'm with you, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find the coach. I don't know where to go. No effort being made. I already knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get my schedule. I signed up for some freaking band. Wait a minute, man. You already tried to teach me to play saxophone before, and I couldn't even get a sound out. And I wasn't really interested.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gonna force it down my throat.
Yeah. Yep.
So now he forced it down my throat. I went and got in band. I said, well, you know what? If I get in band, I think I might want to play drums or whatever is gonna get me to the point where I can play a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I ain't got all the money for all that. Play the saxophone I got. This old saxophone. So I had to play what he wanted me to play because that's what he had. He didn't want to invest in me. Now he invested in my stepsister when her time came. So, you know, I ended up realizing sooner or later he's trying to make me do what he did because it's easier for him.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever was more convenient for him. And therefore, later on down the road, I started seeing more and more and more where he was hoping he could live through me. I wish you could have did. I ain't never get as many women as you got. When I was young, I struggled with getting women.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking to myself like, dang, Dad, is this what it was all about? You really were trying to recoup what you didn't accomplish through me?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you were so mentally caught up in that, you didn't invest into me the right way. Because even though you gave me that saxophone in the 7th grade, you didn't hear me play it till my senior year.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You know,
wow.
So I mean, sometimes people do live through other people's dreams, or they'll try to force their dreams on you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, at times they don't even realize it. They don't even realize it, but that can be a very bad thing.
Exactly.
When you don't listen to your children and listen to what they have dreams and ambitions for, and you don't invest in it, because you can have them participating in something that they are unhappy with the whole time.
Yep, miserable, just miserable. And Leonard, sometimes a person try to turn your scoreboard into their scoreboard.
You know, it just depends. If the dream is yours, it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have with a lot of people is they think that they're the only ones that have a particular dream. Sometimes it's not that big. It can be a reality. How close are you to the reality of that? You know, when people say living someone else's dream, or you know, that's real romantic. But really, you can't do nothing. You don't have to do nothing you really don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly can't do it well. You know, these people that say, you know, I wish, you know, I didn't play this, and yes, you do. Who was Simone Biles be had she not had folks that kept her practicing?
Mm-hmm.
Now she's the best in the world. There isn't another human being in her sport.
That's right.
That can do what she does.
That can touch her, man.
So this whole notion and the whole romance and what we seen, you know, the crying kid acting as if somebody done them some disservice. Because now you a multi-millionaire playing basketball or doing whatever it is you do at the top of your game. And the first thing you do is you go back and you thank those who made you focus, who made you better.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never heard a doctor complaining that he ain't want to be no doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing to be.
It is.
A lawyer, an engineer, or what have you. These are aspirations.
Though you say you never heard them complain, Leonard, are they always happy if that wasn't the dream that they wanted to do?
Care.
No. If
are they always
happy?
If they want to be a doctor, trust me, they wouldn't be a doctor.
That's not true. Because like I said, in the African culture, a lot of times they push their children into what they want to be. I've talked to Africans that wanted to do something outside of what they're doing. Now, they're very successful. They're doctors, or most of these people were doctors, though.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't.
So when they got grown, what did they do?
They was already on their path. They feel. I guess they
when
felt
they
as though they
grown,
could.
What did they
Two ways I can answer that question. One, they was already on that path, and two, I don't think they wanted to disappoint their parents because the parents were still here, and that was the dream that the parents always had for their children. In African continent, man, they push education so strongly, and they push it down.
That's great for their children.
It is. But are they pushing their children in the direction that they want to go in, though? That's my question.
Well, what way did that doctor want to be?
I think he wanted to act.
What?
I think he said he wanted to be an actor.
He should just quit being a doctor then and go be an actor.
That ain't gonna happen, Leonard. How you gonna tell somebody to do something like
Why
that,
not?
man?
That's what he want to be.
No. This man making all that doggone money, man. The man ain't gonna walk away from that, man, to get something he ain't gonna get paid in.
That's why he don't mind being a doctor. That's why he don't mind being a doctor. Right
well,
there.
I'm not gonna say he don't.
No.
I'm not gonna say he don't mind. I'm not gonna say he don't mind or he did not mind. But what I will say is, you know, he know what side his butter was toasted on.
Who?
That's all. That's what I will say.
That still might not have been his dream. If being a doctor might not have been his dream, that might have been his father's dream.
Exactly.
That was, it's still about the dream, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's my point. Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking if it's about the dream, you know, you saying something, you know, that's very key, because a lot of those Africans, they do believe in honoring their elders and their parents.
Exactly.
If I am mistaken, I say Pastor Mark said he went in a direction that he didn't really want to go in. Yep. That wasn't his dream.
Yep.
You know, so I see it all the time. I see plenty of people that go into professions, or maybe it's not even a professional career. They just get out here and want to be 9 to 5. And once they get caught up in a life, they realize this ain't really what I wanted to do. I mean, just think about it. What if somebody was smart enough to be an astronaut, but they couldn't go to college because they come from a poor family, and nobody in that family could even show them, expose them, or get them access to the route to take to get to be an astronaut? Nobody to talk to. You can say they went to a majority white school and them counselors didn't talk nothing to them students because they didn't want them to be number one in class, and they could care less about their future. So now here it is, you got an aspiration to be a pilot. but you working in a pipe shop.
Mm-hmm.
And you done dug a hole for yourself. You got kids. You done went into this lifestyle that your environment has influenced you into, not realizing that you were misled into thinking that all these things was out of reach. Now it's hard for you to just up and quit.
Yeah.
And go in this direction because you might have 4 or 5 kids to take care of. And they got football camps to go to and school fees. Ballet dance. You still want them to have the things that you didn't have.
And
you
them
want them to
student
have the
loans.
things that they dream of doing. You want them to do the things that they dream of doing.
Rico,
so if you're trying to help them accomplish their dreams,
mm-hmm.
you might have to cut your dreams short, whether you want to or not.
Mm-hmm. And Rico, and them student loans. Don't forget them student loans. You got to pay them back, man. You got all those student loans. You got to figure out some kind of way to pay that money back. Unless somebody put back money for your education, mm-hmm.
for your dream.
Exactly.
And maybe that investment was for you to go to law school.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you didn't know at 5 or 6 years old, like Dwayne Wade's son knew he was a girl. Well, you still might not have known you want to be a lawyer at 5 or 6. You might have thought you was Superman still.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this money up for my child education.
Mm-hmm.
So you start leading them, steering them in a direction. But that's true what you said about the Africans, because they look at it as a necessity for them to have doctors that can treat their own people.
Mm-hmm.
See, we don't need to be getting our education and our health care from depending on others anyway, especially the people that's been working against us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it makes sense that they steer them in that direction. Okay, you might want to be a soccer player, but let me tell you what you're gonna do while you're trying to play soccer too.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna learn how to do this heart operation.
Exactly.
We're gonna send you to medical school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good deal.
So you can have more of an impact on society and this nation, this great nation of Africa that we want to get back on in this proper position. So I mean, it still might be living somebody else's dream, but I like what Leonard said about it being logical.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect parents to support and back a dream that's full of foolery.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be logical.
Mm-hmm. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I was just sitting here thinking, I've seen kids of all nations be guided to go into all kinds of fields because their parents want them to. The curiosity thing, though, is the ones that rebel, that just say no.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always seeming like a lot of them. There's a lot of people trying to be something that they're not. So it's, once again, it's a lot of viewpoints to look at it from.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But I've also known doctors that, they, once their parents passed away, they literally stepped away from the field.
And see, I can see that too. But the thing about the powerful thing that you said, while the parents were still living, they didn't want to disappoint the parents, and so they were not pursuing their own dream. Now, when the parent passed on, that maybe gave them the freedom. That may have given them the freedom to pursue what they wanted to do. That's a lot. Go ahead, Badger. That's a lot.
Yeah. And sometimes it boils down to how they were taught. The fact that to some of them, they have the opinion that they invested so much into them that they can't let them down.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of different standpoints.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the ones that the parents didn't really have any dreams for the children, other than them getting out of their house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that's all they're worried about.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm thinking about You know, they got people that had great aspirations. Is that a good word? When they was coming up, maybe because of their parents, maybe because they wanted to be better than their parents. There was a thing when I was coming up that was said to a child: if you're going to be a ditch digger, be the best ditch digger that you can be.
Absolutely.
So sometimes we because what we do is we look at success based on status and position. You're not great if you're a good ditch digger, but you're great if you're a good doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Status quo. Mm-hmm.
So his person that he didn't make a doctor, he didn't make a lawyer, he wasn't a good at athletics, or he probably was good, but he had a knee injury or something like that. That all of his dreams in life kind of diminished along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they have a kid, and they put everything into that child to accomplish everything they couldn't. And lo and behold, they look at their child and they say, I've failed twice in life. Because the child don't accomplish what their dreams.
Yeah. Their dreams.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people really feel like they failed twice or 3 times because look, the child, instead of living out the dream, might get murdered or killed in the streets, or might become a drug dealer. Might be a good drug dealer, but they're not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might just wind up picking up trash. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
When we look at people and we say, you're successful and you're not. But look at what we first talked about as we saw the American dream or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Two successful people in life, in their own minds, but one of them was a dry cleaner and the other one was owner of a junkyard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they both, in their minds, were successful.
Yes, sir. Because I'm gonna tell you something.
You know,
you couldn't tell Fred he wasn't successful. You couldn't tell him that.
I mean, you better not. I mean, you know, and then don't let him put on his zoot suit.
Oh my goodness!
Don't let him put that. Oh man, with his hat on, you could with the feathers sticking out.
But see,
then his boy Bubba them was with him.
Yes.
Couldn't tell him nothing.
And let's stay with Sanford and Son for a second, because I know how much you love Sanford and Son. Was Lamont a prisoner to Fred? Because Lamont wanted, several episodes they talk about Lamont wanted to do something different, but Fred held him hostage. How can you not want this, man? I'm leaving all this to you, all this empire, Sanford Arms. I'm leaving all this. See, but Lamont wanted something different for his life, but Fred wanted Lamont to stay right there, and Fred did everything he could do to keep Lamont there with him. So is that a dream killer?
Well, I mean, that was actually an episode. That was several episodes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where Lamont was going to do something else and then came back because he had changed his mind.
Or failed.
Once he realized what it was all about and what have you,
mm-hmm.
he had a lot more respect for what his father had done
mm-hmm.
for him. Now, Lamont could have done anything he wanted to, but he chose to stay at home with his father. Now, it had nothing to do with a dream or anything. His father was getting old.
Did he choose
the show
to?
Started off with Red Fox being old.
Yeah.
Sanford being old,
mm-hmm.
retired, sickly. And he used being, that fake heart attack stuff as what was going to kill him every time because he just didn't want to be alone.
I ain't never seen nobody have 50 heart attacks a day. I ain't never seen nobody have 50 heart attacks a day, man. That's a lot of heart attacks there, bro.
Right. He just didn't want to be alone.
Yeah. And see,
he didn't want to be left by himself.
And he didn't want Lamont to get married. Every time Lamont was going to get married or anything, man, Fred would do something to destroy it. Fred gonna do something. I'm like,
Right.
that's a dream killer.
He was just always scared of being alone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, Lamont was going to make it big by finding something one day that was worth a lot of money. That was the whole point of the business, you know, buying and selling. Remember, he was an entrepreneur. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I'm a black entrepreneur, but I'm living in poverty. But I'm an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Rico, what do you say about that, man? Was Fred a dream killer for Lamont?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't. Fred didn't see the bigger picture. Sometimes when I looked at this show, you know, even though it is just a show, one of my favorite shows too, I sort of picked up that Fred didn't have faith that some things could be achieved because he was black. You know, they came from a place where they were going to be discriminated against. You know, somebody was going to do something to them, and they'll try to do maybe just opportunities wasn't going to be there because of. But then Lamont came around in the era where he had a lot more ambition, a lot more aspiration. Yeah, he was exposed to a lot more things that made him say, you know what, I could dream bigger. I could be bigger than this. I don't want to just be limited. True enough, be self-sufficient. See, that was the reason why Fred thought he was successful too, because he wasn't dependent on anybody else. He made his own money, self-made. Might not have been $1 million, but it was his. And he didn't have to depend on nobody for nothing. So he wanted Lamont to be self-sufficient. He wanted him to be self-made. But Lamont had bigger aspirations. He also wanted the experience. He wanted to see bigger and better things. Maybe he wanted to be more of a contributor to society than just being an entrepreneur in a junkyard. So there's so many different things you could take from that. But at the same time, you know, going back to what you was asking, you know, Fred did sort of hold Lamont back because he wanted, like you said, he wanted to take over the legacy, take over the empire, and make it bigger, sample it on, you know, turn it into a hotel and everything, just expand this. He thought he had a Microsoft on his hand. You know, and Lamont was going to be the heir, the heir to it. So, you know, and maybe he did see that as a successful business, being that he came from a place and a time where you could survive off of this. So, I mean, you know, sometimes that's the reason why parents do sort of withhold their children from accomplishing their dreams, because they don't understand how much more is available compared to when they were young dreamers.
Wow. Badger, what do you say to that?
Man, I haven't watched that show in a long time. Can you ask what you're?
Well, talking about Stanford and Son, a lot of times what Fred would do, he would always, every time Lamont wanted to do something different or wanted to move out or get married or whatever, Fred would always figure out a way to keep Lamont right there with him. And so we're talking about, the topic is, are you, pretty much in a nutshell, are you a dream killer? Are your dreams yours? And what do you think Fred was blocking Lamont from obtaining his dreams, always keeping him there?
I could see that. Yeah, because there's so. I'm trying to remember because I haven't seen any episodes in so long. But the ones that I do remember, yeah, and his son would always get upset, you know, when he was trying to break up or getting in between the person that he's dating and all that. So I'm trying to. Yeah, I could say that. I agree with what you guys are saying. I haven't watched it in a while, and so I'm trying to remember the episodes. Hello? Oh. Well, y'all, I do apologize for not being able to remember that TV series. It has been a hot minute since I've been able to watch it. What the parts I do remember is every time, you know, his son would try to do anything, he'd have some kind of response to it or something like that. So it's, I mean, man, and I've seen that kind of stuff happen in today's society so much. So it's pretty disturbing to watch. But to me, you know, our dreams are our dreams. Even when we're younger. And I feel that we shouldn't make our kids, even if we didn't succeed with our dreams, we shouldn't make our kids, you know, do them if they don't want to. You know, observe how, as they're getting older and stuff, and invest in what they show. You know, if they show that they're good at music and they want to play guitars, play pianos, you know, if you can, do your best to support that. If your kiddo likes to do engineering things, you know, and invest in ways to be able to help him continue that thought process. And figure out what kind of engineer they want to be.
Back with you, Badger.
Awesome. Everything went quiet, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, we got kicked off there for a second, but I was listening to you, brother. You did good. You did good, Badger. And I got Leonard and everybody else back on the phone lines as well. And they had a good little conversation going on over there, man. You should have heard them. They had something real good going on. Let me see. Leonard, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Now, I missed a lot of what you were saying, and Badger, you did good, brother. You did real good. Because Badger don't like talking about himself like that. He don't like that, and he kept it going, man. Leonard Badger did an amazing job. He just did an amazing job for me, and I thank you, Badger. I really do. Now, Leonard, what were you saying? Because I heard when I came back when I got the phone lines back up, I heard you were saying something. Explain to me what it was you were saying, and let the listeners hear.
Well, I was just explaining to Rico about the topic, and as refers to people talking about, I could have been. No, you couldn't have been, because you didn't even try. So how could you have been that? You did nothing. So how could you have been that? I know actors who barely make it because they love acting. Whether they living on the street corner, from part to part, as hard as it is, that's what they want to do. They'll risk everything else because that is truly what they want to do. It don't even matter how they started off or anything. All the extra jobs on the side that they had, they're acting because that's what they want to do. They had them other jobs to support pursuing that dream. So once again, tell me, what did you do to pursue the dream? Nothing.
So
that's why you don't have it.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say, Leonard, is the parents push the children to that point because the children sometimes don't have the drive and motivation, and because of the fact they don't have that drive and motivation, the parents push them in a certain direction that they feel is going to be best for them, and they become successful in that.
Yes, that's one of the jobs of being a parent. That's a good parent. If all you can say, man, you know what, my parents made me be a doctor. Boo-hoo. That's foolishness to even think of such a thing in that light. Ain't nobody made you been a doctor. All you had to do was fail a test. You wouldn't have been a doctor.
But Leonard, my thing is, we're talking about. Let's also talk about happiness though. And I know how you feel about this even before I ask the question. You my brother. I've been knowing you for a long time. I know how you feel about this. So I'm gonna ask the question anyway because that's what I do. I'm the question asker. Do do you think they have the right to be happy in what they pursue and what they do? Because if they're not happy being a if they're not happy being a doctor or an athlete, like you say, the athlete making all this money and complaining,
Mhm.
but they're not happy.
Yeah. Well, boo hoo. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The argument is it's not it's just not valid
Mm-hmm.
from this standpoint. There's so many. Who's making you be the best that you can be if you don't want to be? Who?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
Well, to some degree, I think it's the parents. And again, I go back to the African culture because of the fact that they pushed and Badger said something that was powerful as well. Badger said that the guy was a doctor as long as the parents was here, but soon as the parents passed on, he didn't want to be a doctor anymore. He wasn't happy. That wasn't what he wanted to do. And so when soon the parents passed on, that gave him the green light, the freedom to pursue what he wanted to do. And I don't know what he did at that point.
Shouldn't have been such.
It's Badger's story, huh?
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's my thing right there, man. Now, sometimes you could do something and you could be real good at it, but it may not be what your dream or maybe what
bad.
what
Yeah, I feel
fulfills
so
you,
bad for him.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel so bad for him.
Hey, sometimes you really have to.
Oh, I'm such a
Sometimes,
there's this one guy. He's a famous actor. He does a lot of comedy acting.
mm-hmm,
He acts like a complete buffoon.
mm-hmm.
But he was a doctor before he became an actor.
Oh, you talking about
Because he came over here and he started acting and started making so much money and having so much fun. But in Asia, he's a doctor.
you talking about Ken?
Yeah.
And watch this.
Because
let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you a secret about Ken. It's gonna blow your mind, man. I went to school with Ken. He went to school in Greensboro Page.
He did?
Yeah, he graduated Greensboro. Look him up. He graduated Greensboro Page, man. I went to school with that cat, man. I know that cat. We used to talk
A
home.
lot of them are very professional individuals by trade and what they started off, and they wanted to act. So when they got the opportunity was given to them to act, they took it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can stop doing whatever it is you want to right now.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you really want to do.
Exactly.
If it meant that much to you. If it really was your dream to do.
Mm-hmm. I wonder the Kim.
Folks always want to find some type of excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I don't have excuses.
Now, let me ask you this question: if acting is not something that you want to do, and I'm gonna go to Donald too. So we got Donald online as well. But if acting is not what you want to do, you don't care nothing about acting. I know you love comedy, but you don't care nothing about the act. You don't care nothing about the acting side of it. You don't care nothing about that. But somebody come along, they see you on stage doing comedy one day. They say, look here, then I got this film, man. You'll be perfect for the film, man. Listen, it's gonna pay you $5 million. It's gonna pay you $2 million when you sign and $5 million at the completion of the project. Now you will get $5 million for this project. Gonna take us about 3 months to get it shot properly. Are you interested in doing that? And you absolutely hate acting, but would you do it?
Yeah. For the $5 million.
See, and that's the same situation a lot of these doctors are in. They do it because the money is there.
I don't need you to feel sorry for me. I'm getting $5 million.
Bye, Leonard. Bye. Hold on, man. No, hold on. Let me go to talk. Man, I ain't fooling with you, man.
What? I got this film for $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really want to get this money like this.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really want to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really want to be able to pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really wanted to be able to do all that.
Mm-hmm. And so,
man, stop it.
Tucson, what are you hearing, Tucson? Do you hear what I'm saying to him, Tucson?
I kind of like sorta. I'm listening with the left ear, but the right ear ain't paying attention.
Gotta be a balance, brother. Gotta be a balance. Now, come on now.
because you're from Opelousas, brother. You know, some things just don't make no sense. Ain't
that. But you know what, man? Here's where I am with all of this thinking, man. It's just how you value success. I mean, we talk about all these great people, great athletes, and doctors, and lawyers, and ditch diggers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good one. And he provides. All people want to do is provide for their family.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yep.
And have their child be better than them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's me. I mean, I don't dictate to my children. I remember when, I used to run track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited when my baby boy started running track. I said, "Oh boy, I'm going to the Olympics now."
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying because it's in him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that one year I think it was 2/10 of a second for qualifying for nationals.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That ain't much. And had some good times.
Man,
but when he started,
that's less than a heartbeat. That's less than a heartbeat, man.
I'm trying to tell you, I wasn't no.
Oh Lord, here we go, Leonard. Go ahead, Tucson. Badger, I want you to listen to this. He about to toot his horn, Badger.
No, Badger. I was finna say, you know how they say Joe the Rag?
Mm-hmm.
You missed it, Leonard. I mean, Leonard, he missed it.
No, I know what you're saying.
He missed it.
I know what you're saying.
No, I ain't missed both. What I'm saying is, I let him do his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's doing something else. But if I would have said, yeah, he did, I would have in life missed nationals twice. If I would have said, boy, you got to do this, man, you got. And I went to some track meets, boy, you should have saw me with my chest out.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he didn't cross the finish line first, it was like I didn't cross the finish line first.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, but I ain't broke a sweat.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Other than yelling and screaming in the stands and trying to video and yell in the screen in the stands, and you can't videotape and yell and scream because you're gonna miss the race.
Exactly.
So anyway, man, a lot of people, they try to put everything they wasn't into their child.
Yes, sir.
And if you're not careful, you'll flunk twice in life.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Children do their own thing. But another thing, and I'm gonna shut up. We value success based on status.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't become a doctor or a lawyer or a professional baseball, basketball, football player, we see that in our society as not being successful.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can just provide for your family and allow your kid to be better than you, then I believe that that's success.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good. That's good. Badger, talk to me, brother.
Question?
No. What's on your heart? Whatever's on your heart. We talk. How can we let our kids? How can we let our kids? How can we get out of the way and let our kids be successful in what they want to do?
I mean, one of my kiddos is very much into engineering and taking things apart, wanting to know how everything works. So we invest in that.
Mm-hmm.
We're just being very observant of his likes and wants and things of that nature, and is working hard to give him a way to be able to follow it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And let's go ahead, brother. Finish it up.
Oh, and it's just supporting them, just paying attention.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Now let me go to Rico. Rico, I know you've been listening, man, and a lot of times, man, we want to allow our children the independence and the ability to go out there and do what they want to do. But Rico, truth of the matter, man, that thing could change every week, man.
But they have to be prepared properly. You know,
Mhm.
see, you know, a lot of the stuff we're talking about, when a child wants to achieve their own dreams and they want to do it without being influenced, you have to have a lot of motivation and self-confidence.
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, that got to be taught. I even heard somebody the other day, teach your children how to pray. That's
Mhm.
true. I don't know how to pray.
Mhm.
You know, now some things come automatic. Some people have a drive and an ambition for things so hard sometimes that it comes to them easily.
Mhm.
But sometimes you have to teach these people how to focus on what it is they want to do. You have to teach people how to be motivated, how to take initiative. So I mean, and be, I'm gonna say, resilient, not to
Mhm.
give up. You know, sometimes you have to teach people how to get up after they fell down. So after you start teaching that behavior, you start teaching that mindset, then they start learning how to do and accomplish things that they really want to accomplish.
Mhm.
Especially if you're teaching them a lot of positive behavior. So you know, you get them in that situation, and they start understanding to move accordingly based on what you have told them success is. See, I like what
Mhm.
Don said there earlier. Everybody's idea of success is different. You
Yes.
have some people in local communities that come from the have-nots, and their identity or idea of success is just getting some local respect.
Mhm.
Maybe they come from a name. You know, we got some names down here that if you come from if you're the offspring of one of these last names, you already pretty much done had a scarlet letter put on you. It's wrong, but that's what
Mhm.
happens. So
Mhm.
you have some people that they know they come from that family with that
Mhm.
name.
Yep.
And they just want to get some respect in their city. You might have someone say, well, Bumpy, you know what? I ain't got to stay here. I go somewhere else and achieve and accomplish a whole lot more because I'm not being prejudged.
Mhm.
But you got some that feel like they're stuck here because they have generation after generation of people feeling like they're less than. Just be
Mhm.
happy that you doing this or that you got that. You know, it's just it's out there that people are influenced that way. So everybody has their own idea of success, but you know, it's really hard to say that people should be able to just stop doing what they're doing and accomplish their dreams when they didn't never have an idea that they can accomplish those dreams. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna put this out there: arranged marriages. People
That.
get in arranged marriages
Mhm.
because their parents want them in that
Mhm.
marriage.
Yep.
People stay in arranged marriages because they don't feel like it's right for them to violate that. They don't believe in divorce or for whatever reason. It's sometimes it's financial arrangements. But that arranged marriage is a prime example of a person doing what their parents wanted them to do.
Mhm.
And I know that firsthand because I actually, I've said before, I've met 3 women in my life that I should have married. And one of them was an Indian, like Chile. She was complete Indian, but she
Mhm.
looked black.
Yeah.
And the situation was going to be complicated because she already had a husband picked out for her since she
Mm.
had been like 12 years old. Her
Wow.
family had already arranged a marriage and she was not happy with it. She, over years and years and years, she had made her mind up, man, this is not who I want to marry. I'm not attracted to him. I don't see him like that. I don't want to spend the rest of my life with him. But I don't want to disappoint my parents,
Mhm. Yep.
especially her father. So her
Mhm.
father had a store, paid for her and her brother's education, you know what I'm saying, put her on half down on a $400,000 home for her. And she wanted me to come up to Washington, D.C. You come up here and live with me. I said, no, I ain't fixing to do that. I don't want to come between you and your father
Mhm.
because I knew how that worked. But
Mhm.
she was obligated. She was torn. You know, she was ready to risk being disowned by him just to be with me and to do what she wanted to do to accomplish, to achieve her dream. Which, now, don't get me wrong, her dream, educational wise, he provided that and she did what she wanted to do. But
Mhm.
her dream as far as her life and being married, she was having to go through what somebody else's dream was. And that was going to be a big problem.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, Leonard, situation like that, let's pull back a couple of layers, man. Is that pimping your child? Oh, we lost Leonard. Oh, yeah, get him back right now. Leonard, there you go. Got you back, brother. Got you back. Situation like that, Leonard, is that pimping your child? If prearranged wedding, prearranged marriage, and you bring me 10 cattle and 4 sheep and 3 goats, and we're gonna be all right. Is that pimping your child? Leonard, you there? Oh, Leonard having some issues with this line. Tucson, what did you say to that?
Can you rewind the tape?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I told you. I be telling you, man. I be multitasking most of my day.
I know you do. I know you do. That's good. But my thing.
So my left ear is listening, right ear wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
We're asking, and Rico's talking about there was a young lady that he know of that had a prearranged family.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 6, 7.
Trying to get Leonard back on the line with us. He said that there was a young lady that had a family. Her father had picked out the husband for her, already paid for school and all that stuff, and she went to school. He bought put down money on a $400,000 home and all that stuff for his daughter, but the daughter, he had already picked out her husband. The daughter didn't want to marry him. Huh?
I laugh.
Yeah, and but see, my question is that to a certain degree, is that pimping your child?
Well, some countries do that. They betroth to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That family is gonna marry into that family. Prearranged.
Yeah, prearranged. Exactly.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe most of us would stay married. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But just like you always got that one that's gonna be, I ain't gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break that cycle. I'm gonna break that cycle. And she has that right. Mm-hmm. Whoever has that right. Yet saying that, no, I'm not gonna. I know that the family has a family business, but I don't want to do that. I want to be a sky jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one? Is that a? They just want to travel, so they take the man's money and they just ride around all day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's individual's choice. We free agents, and even when our kids don't want to do what we did, some children, even the success of the family, they don't want to do that because they realize that daddy never was home. So because they don't never see their parents, and their parents have multitudes of money, they say, my time is more valuable than that. Than trying to get and gain, have and is living, but don't even have a life. Because their drive is based on somebody else's success, or implanting or doing something for somebody else, building a big old building or big old business, a skyscraper, but you don't even know that your child has a baseball game today.
Wow, that's good. That's
So
good.
is that successful?
No.
When you have finally arrived at what you desire to do, but then you wasn't even there when your son was born. Ain't that something? Is that successful?
No, that's a mess.
It happens every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Captain Leonard.
Can you hear me, Raheem? I'm trying to fix my other little mic here, but I'm using the computer mic so far.
Man, look here, I'm gonna tell you something. Whatever you're doing right now, you need to keep doing that, because that's
okay.
That's crystal clear.
All right, I'll leave it like that then.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Now, Leonard, is that pimping your child?
I heard a little bit of what Donald was saying, but there are some people that do things for the wrong reasons. And yes, there are parents who completely just go overboard. But these are people who have real serious issues. And there are some people, say for instance, let's look at issues in the African American community. And when we notice that a young person, especially a young black male, has a talent for a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you rather push him to be at practice, make sure he has those things and that he needs to become the best basketball player, or just turn him loose out in the street to figure it out himself? What would you do?
Well, you definitely want to push him to go into the practicing, because that way it's a stable.
No, I don't want to play basketball. I'd rather just hang out on the stoop. Because where everybody else at, ain't nobody else practicing, ain't nobody else doing this. That can't I just hang out?
You know what I do? Now you know what I do, Leonard?
What?
I go old school with them, and all the people you talking about don't live in this house. You live in this house.
Exactly.
You live in this house.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So
it's because as a parent, like with Donald, for instance, Donald know that you know, and being who he was, and when he talks about his career as a running track and how good he was, maybe there's some of that is in his boy. He say he sees something, and maybe he sees that one. If this kid ran, he'd be even better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for nothing else, as a parent, I at least keep it in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
I at least let him know that, look, son, you got potential. Guess what? I used to race.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? Your grandfather was real fast too.
Mm-hmm.
It may be in his blood. I got a friend of mine. He's in the Hall of Fame, a swimmer, brother. Him and his brother, they swim like fish. He in for Hall of Fame. So everybody want to know. He shows pictures of his little girls, and he showed them, got this huge pool in the back, and he showed them, and he's like, yeah, this one's really good. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be very open in the way he's just a big teddy bear, big cool guy, but he's so domineering when you see him. But he's really a nice guy. His brother's an actor, by the way. And so he has two little girls, and they swim. And you like, if these little girls wanted to be championship swimmers, with his coaching, those girls could probably be championship swimmers. But he's going to let them decide. But you know what? He's going to have a pool, and he's going to make sure they know how to swim. He's going to make sure they know that their daddy used to swim and what he accomplished swimming and how he went to college because he could swim so well. And why he still holds the record in his city where he's from for swimming. These are things that contribute to a person when they can say, hey, my dad did this. Hey, I'll try it. And you never know. Kids don't know what they're good at.
Yeah.
They don't know. They just do what they want to do. And if they happen to do it well, we say, man, they're gifted. I may have not been the best sports person, but I tested out a regular school. But I didn't want to go across town to the all-white school. So my mother did not force me to go over to that school because I was already in the up north. I was in the 6th grade. So I was going to be 6th grade, and I didn't want to leave my friends that one year just to go over there. So she didn't force me to, because even though I had tested out and I could be, what was more important to me and that I enjoyed myself with my friends in my neighborhood. So my mom said I didn't have to, but my brother, when he tested out, he went over there. Because he was earlier, he was younger, he had more years, but one, it would have did more damage to pull me away for 1 year from my friends I had grew up with and forced me to go over to another side of town to go to school. So when I was getting ready to go to junior high, boom, I went to the school. But these are the things that people should allow their children to choose. But you got to still steer and guide them. You can't let your children can't parent you. I with my oldest son, because I'm learning to be a parent of an adult. That's foreign to me. That's not something I grasp very well. because I believe in such independence. And so, one, I am here to facilitate his best decisions, whatever they may be.
That's good.
That's what I'm going to do. I can't sit here and be mad. I tried that. I don't do nothing but run my blood pressure up. It don't make no sense to fuss. It's his life. Just like I have mine. I've turned his life over to him now.
But that don't mean you took your hands completely off the steering wheel.
No.
Okay.
One thing, I'll always have a place for you to come.
Okay, that's good.
You won't have to worry about that.
Absolutely. We got a couple of callers, man. We got God that just came into the line, so I want to touch everybody. The next person up is Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? We're talking about, are your dreams yours, or do sometimes people try to infiltrate what they want you to do into you to make you go in the direction they want you to go in? Be it parents, friends, or whatever. What do you say to that, Curtis? And good morning to you, sir.
Hey, morning, man. Morning. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. Having this conversation. What's up, baby? What's popping?
Congratulations again.
Conversation with a group of my kids that I work with, you know, and please forgive me for saying this, but it's just so true. And I had the conversation with with some of my colleagues too, both black and white, and we all agreed. And actually, one of my Caucasian American colleagues kind of cleared it up for me because I really didn't understand. But I was telling my kids that I work with, I said, look, I got a kid that really, really loves basketball and he can play. Not just that he just loves the game and he ain't got no skill. No, the kid's skill set is crazy. It's bananas, right? And man, I got a whole bunch of other things that came into play. That's why I don't play basketball. And I'm like, do you love it? Is it what you think about when you wake up? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, the only definition or the only thing I could kind of give him to at least allow for him to get the wheels, the oil to running through the engine is like, look, we are the only people on this planet almost that what we love to do will become our hobby. And we'll do it for free. But other cultures, what they love to do becomes their profession. And they make massive amounts of money on it. Speaking as a parent, you know, how am I saying it? Because I'm proud of it. Speaking as a parent of an All-American, I told my son that if that's what you love to do, son, then that's your job. Ain't no way to skirt around that, or ain't no way to, you know, sugarcoat. No, that's your job. As painstaking as it may be, if you love to do that, that is your job. That is your God-given gift. So utilize that gift. And what I'll do is I'll reinforce that gift. So one of the things that I did to reinforce his gift and to keep him in constant, like, a form of exposure to having a gift is one of the things we did was we made sure that he was in some form of band or ensemble, you know what I mean? Instrumentally and musically, because okay, now that doesn't, it helps him break the silence of being in front of crowds. Two, I constantly talk to him about business because in him being an All-American, I had to explain to him that, okay, once you go to the next level, folks are not going to just be looking at your ability to play. And he said to me, he came right out and said to me, Raheem, like, well, what do you mean, Daddy? You know what I mean? If I'm playing football and I'm the best, that's what I need. And I said, no, son, when you move to the next level, there's going to be every level you move to, there's new things that come on the table. And if I don't get you prepared for it now, it'll hit you like a ton of bricks. So now we got to start working on your ability to be marketable, your ability to talk to people, your ability to control your anger or your frustrations, your ability to keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble. You see what I'm saying? There's several things that go with those lessons that actually prepares them for life later on. After, for example, you can't play football no more, or you can't play basketball no more at that level.
Kurt, wrap it up for me, brother. I got about 3 people waiting to come on. Wrap it up for me, brother.
You always hit me like that, man.
Kurt, you've been talking 10 minutes, man.
It's just, man. I think that one of the things that has to happen in our modern day society now is that we have to push this effort to teach the life skills that the life skills that's needed after one commits to, okay, this is what I love to do. We need to promote what people love to do. We're finding out here in Baltimore that there's so many talented kids, like talent that's far and beyond what we can even comprehend. But Kurt, they live in homeless on the streets.
Okay, hold on, Kurt. I gotta go. Okay, hold on, bro. I gotta go to some more people. I got somebody from the 702 area code. 702 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jacob Long. I'm from Vegas.
Hey,
watching y'all for a cool minute, man.
Hey, good to
talk to y'all, man.
Hey, good to have you, brother. See, your name is Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Jacob, good to have you, brother.
I was calling. I was calling because I just hopped on here. I was needing some prayer. You know, I've been going through some spiritual warfare myself. Overnight I stayed up all night. Just in my head and my thoughts and stuff, and just fighting the demons. But I read y'all's title, and I had to call in on it because I literally had a new. I don't know. I was thinking maybe, so your title is, "Are Your Dreams Yours?"
Yes.
Now, it's so crazy. I think the Lord might even let me read that title because I literally last night mentioned to myself, in my head, I'm like, you know what? Because all my dreams are bad. They're nightmares, bro. I'm talking 95% of them are evil, devil, enforced. I'm always running. I'm always hiding. I'm always paranoid. I'm always, I'm having to kill somebody to get out of a situation. And I'm talking bad dreams. You know what I mean? So I read this title and I thought to myself, I said, "Are your dreams yours?" And this is before I hopped on y'all's thing. I had this conversation with myself. So if you can't tell me that ain't God's dream, I don't know what is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I said to myself, maybe it's a test because I think life is a test. I think God put us here real quick. I know I'm trying to make this quick. That God put us here, to test us. I mean, that's common knowledge in my opinion. Like, life's a test. So why else would we be put on this earth? To see if we choosing right or wrong, if we rocking with the devil or we rocking with, with God. So anyways, it's funny. I said to myself last night, I said, are my dreams alive? Because I had just the most horrible dreams. So I'm like, maybe God lets the devil like he lets the devil rule in our dreams. So that was with no boundaries, with no laws. Just hear me out on this. No boundaries, no laws. You can do whatever you want in your dreams, man, and get away with it. So think about it this way. Imagine if God was like, you know what? I'm going to let the devil run rampant in your dreams. But I'm going to test you and see how you react when there is no laws. What y'all think about that? That's kind of a crazy theory, but I'm just saying.
Well, there's a lot.
When I read that.
Yeah, there's a lot tied into there's a lot tied into, brother, what you just said. There's a lot tied into it, and when you start talking along those lines of God letting the devil do this in your life and the devil taking control of these different things, that's a real tender area that you have to be real careful and real mindful of how you tread on it. What I say is God. Right. I say God is always in control. The devil try to infiltrate, try to come in, and he try to maneuver,
Oh,
and
no doubt.
he try to trick you in different ways, and that's his job.
Yes, sir.
That's what he's supposed to do. And so, if anybody say that he's doing
Yes,
anything
sir.
wrong, it's almost like you saying we spoke about basketball earlier. If we say a basketball player is wrong for playing basketball, we are of course, because that's what the basketball player does. And when you say that,
Can you say the last part again?
when
Because when I'm not, you didn't. It's kind of raspy.
okay, when you say that a basketball player is wrong for playing basketball, we of course, because that's what a basketball player does. What the devil does, he wants to cause chaos, confusion, and all kind of trauma in your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he do, and so you can't expect him to do anything different. The devil's gonna be the devil. That's who he is. But my thing is right here, he have no control over your life, because if you believe in God and turn your whole life over to God, I believe, this is just me. Somebody else may believe something different. I believe he will protect you even in your dreams.
Oh,
even in your
there's no
dreams.
doubt about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And let me jump in real quick, if you don't mind.
No.
There's no doubt about it. God has protected me, man. I have made it out of the most unfathomable situations. You wouldn't believe it, man. I swear I could write a book. It could be on 60 Minutes, but it would take longer than 60 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm telling you right now, man, God has looked out for me the craziest amount, sir. And I want to also say, man, I love the fact I get to meet y'all, man. What's up, Rico? What's up, Wade? What's up, Leonard? I've always wanted to say what's up to y'all. Love you guys, man. You guys are really cool. What's up, Douglas? I didn't mean you.
Good morning.
Bush is over there. I'm sorry, guys.
Good deal.
Yeah.
But brother, I'm gonna tell you something. It's an honor to have you on with us, brother. We definitely appreciate you, and you're more than welcome, man. Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come back, man. And if you have any questions, I love where you are, because I think God is gonna do some mighty things in your life, brother. So trust Him.
No doubt about it.
Trust Him, man.
No doubt about it. I trust in God. I trust in God wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
It's just that devil, he always wants to fight with me. You know what I mean?
Okay,
He's been picking on me, but I'm gonna. I know who. Yes, sir.
Let me say this to you. When you say what you just said, say that without the but. Say that without the but.
Say it one more time.
When you say what you just said, you say you love God, you trust God, and then you say, but that devil's up. Say that I love God and I trust God. Leave from that but on back. Leave all that off. Don't even get the devil any playground to manipulate in your life.
Don't even add in the devil. The devil's name into that situation.
No, sir. No, leave him out. Leave him out. Leave him out.
Sir.
You say you love God.
Don't even speak his name unless you're trying to
acknowledge him.
Get him out your mind.
Exactly. I want to do.
I can dig it.
I want to do this right here. Don't. Somebody want to say something?
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Curtis.
This Kurt, brother.
Yeah.
From Baltimore, man. Hey.
How you doing?
I'm all right, brother. Listen. Know the playbook, bro. Know the playbook, right? Because when you look throughout your scriptures, your canons, your texts, irregardless to which book you look in, every great person who had a greater purpose went through a tumultuous time in which the devil had some inner workings. You can go all the way back.
I couldn't agree more.
Noah.
To the lion's den. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. You can name these laundry list of names, right? That are considered great men on this spiritual walk who had true encounters and a testament that the devil had some kind of way came in and tried to stop the greater purpose that God had for them. For you, the first thing that came to my mind was Job. See, first off, sometimes we forget that although we Christians, we forget that, hey, if the devil can go into heaven, what make you think he can't come into your house? What make you think he can't come into your church? What makes you think he can't come into your dreams? But it all lines up with what Brother Raheem said, which is God is inevitably in control, because when you're going through some issues, I remember a pastor told me one time, when you're going through some
Oh,
issues,
yeah.
you need to thank God. And I didn't understand what he was talking about until I read Job. Because if you read the story of Job, the devil has to have permission from God and by you to even be recognized. You understand? So what
sir,
God is trying to show you, I believe, and I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not perfect. I'm not a
I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
a clairvoyant, you know what I mean? But I believe what God is trying to show you, that he has a greater purpose for you. So in order to do that, guess what? I'll send the devil, but whoa. You can't kill him. Because he can't kill what he ain't created, brother. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The power is...
He could take the devil out in a snap of his fingers if he wanted.
Right. And the power is in the... You look nice, baby. I love you. The power is in the... Not only the process for which you go through, but the power is in the outcome for which you know is at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What you mean?
The power.
What you mean by that last part?
The process. Because the process that you're going to go through is going to strengthen you. It's going to put you in a position of where if we was playing football and I was playing against your team, you'll be able to predict every single play, every single lineup that I put in front of you.
Okay, I got you.
You'll be able to predict it, and then you'll be able to make your changes accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
But the power is not also in the process. The power is actually in the breakthrough. If you look at Moses, the power was in the process. What was the process? Moses' mama put him in a basket, sailed him down the river. He could have got ate by alligators. Sailed him down the river. He was found by the wealthiest family, which also happened to be the oppressor, was made into the family, and then was discovered that he wasn't of the family. So now he got to run. He becomes a murderer. He became a homeless fugitive to then lead a whole entire nation out of bondage.
Good deal. Good
so
deal.
There was power in that process, but then there was even more power in the breakthrough when you look at it in terms of how many people transcended over to believing in the law of the land and coming back to believing in the Spirit of God.
Good deal. We got. Let me do this right here. I want to pull some more people into.
Hey, 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick. What it reminds me of what y'all were talking about is, I don't know. I haven't read the Bible front to back. I've always just skimmed through most. I mean, I read like 4 different books, but I haven't read the whole Bible from. You know what I mean? Like I read the whole Bible probably 20 times, but never all. You know what I mean? Like a book.
Yeah.
But what's that man's name that got thrown in the lion's den and the lions didn't attack him because he had that much faith in the Lord? What was his name? Daniel. Yeah. That's what this is reminding me of, because he had so much faith in the Lord to protect him that he jumped in that lion's den and said, "These lions ain't gonna touch me. The Lord is with me."
Mm-hmm. Good
you
deal.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That really made me think of that.
Let me do this. Hold on for a second. Donald Toussaint, you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, Donald Toussaint, I want you, if you don't mind doing so, brother, say a prayer for that young man, that's going through the struggle right now. Can I get you to do that?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. God, we come now, and we always got to give you glory. Because if it had not been for you, we can't move. We can't have our being. You're the great I am, and that means more now than it ever did, because all that is, you are, especially the love. Nobody loves us like you. And because of your word, I'm just reminded as I hear and I listen, that first thing that comes to mind, that we are more than conquerors. And another thing comes that we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. And we can look to the hills which come out help, because all of our help comes from you. we can speak those things as though they were. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You said that we should study to show ourselves approval unto you, workmen that needed not to be ashamed. So God, what am I asking for? Wisdom, knowledge, and an understanding to do your will. Yes. Reminder that your word says we're the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. So teach us your will. This brother right here, don't know him, but you know him. From the crown of his head, the very hairs on his head, to the soles of his feet. We ask that you would help him to just set aside some time that you can sup with him and he sup with you. Reminded how Jesus went to a desert place all alone, just you and him, and commune together. And not only him, we all need some time with you that we can build, that he can build a relationship with you. And who's in a relationship that don't spend no time together? So help him, help me, help us all.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Yield to the Spirit so we would not fulfill the lust of the flesh. It's not by power, it's not by might, but it's by your Spirit, says the Lord of hosts. As he learns of you, we ask that you would first save to the utmost and then give him the gift of your Holy Ghost that will lead him and guide him and protect him and cover him and shape him and form him and make him into who and what you want him to be. Any other thing that I fail to mention that pertains to his life, you fix it. Even in his sleep, let your Spirit reign, because we already know that the enemy comes to do steal, kill, and destroy. But you came that we might have life and life more abundant. So give him that abundant life that only you can. That's our prayer. We pray it in the name of Jesus Christ and for his sake. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. That was beautiful, man. Powerful stuff.
Good deal. Good deal. Hold on, brother. Let me go to Goddess. Goddess, what's on your heart? Says, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning to you, sis. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. What
doing
pretty good?
real good this morning.
Good deal. Good deal. Are your dreams yours? What do you say to that?
I believe our dreams, my dreams are mine as well as God's. During dreams, that's when sometimes God come in and hear you. So, or tells you. So you have to be listening to what God's saying. And you also have to have the right energy. Energy is everything. And if you're not walking with the right energy, then you'll have that negative energy coming in, interfering with your positive energy. So that is key to me. But God comes in many ways, and he comes through your dreams. But you got to be able to listen to what he's saying when he's there. Because I don't know how many times that he's came into my dreams and said, hey, God is listen to me, hear me. I need you to do this like this. As you all know, I've been through several big cases dealing with the city. And I've had some big high power attorneys. And if you're not hearing, sometimes a lot of people are not still enough to listen to God's voice. And when he speaks in power. And you either have to trust him or you don't.
That's good. That's good.
And when I've trusted him and I've went back and I said, hey, you guys, now I'm telling these big power attorneys, God told me don't do this and y'all need to be ready for court by Monday. We didn't set up all night trying to make these negotiations or whatever. I believe this lady's getting ready to play with us. And sure enough, guess what? Monday, she didn't sign a settlement agreement. Monday, we had to be ready for court.
Good deal. Let me do this. I want to pull some more people into this conversation because we only got a few more minutes left before we get out of here. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm trying to keep up with everything. What exactly are we hitting on?
Well, we're still talking about dreams. Are your dreams yours?
Well, mine, yeah. You know, everything in my life that's got me through what I've gotten through is Creator showed me. So, I mean, were there things that I wanted to do when I was younger that I'm not doing now? Yeah. But I'm not upset about it. I'm focused on fulfilling my kids' dreams now. So in a way, I guess, yeah, my dreams are answered.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Leonard, coming to you next.
Yeah, what was the brother name that called in? Jacob?
Is it Jared? Is it Jacob?
Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob, okay. Man, it was funny when you called in, man.
My boys now.
When you called in, appreciate you for the shout out too. When you called in, man, I swear I felt like I knew you already. When I started hearing you talking and you started talking about your dreams, I was like, man, I feel like I know this guy. You know, it's crazy, you know, and that's not the first time that's happened, you know. So sometimes, you know, you have to go and dig a little bit deeper into that. And as I was listening to you talk, I could tell that you probably got a lot of negative environments around you. And I don't want to say you conforming, but you exposed to them. And they getting to you. Your conscience made you call in. That's what your conscience is getting to you. So you made the first step. I've been in those situations before, and it got to the point where I felt like, you know what, man, maybe I'm getting possessed. Maybe the devil is trying to take me over. And what it was that it was the energy. The energy was having such an effect on my conscience that I couldn't even sleep comfortably. It was still bothering me. So what I needed to do, I needed to change my environment. I needed to change my energy. I needed to change the type of people I was interacting with. Even though I may still have to be involved in these environments that got me feeling this way. Because, I mean, some of us live in some terrible environments. Some of us live in cities where it's just crime after crime after crime after crime. And don't get me wrong, that's part of the street code. You got to be a part of this mess to survive. You know, and it's hard living.
Hey, I'm on probation, sir, so yeah.
See, and it's hard living and adapting in an environment where, number one, you don't condone that behavior anyway, but maybe you put yourself in that situation where these are the type of people you have to lower your standards around and be with, but it's bothering you. But the first step you made to changing your environment was calling in and addressing it, making an effort. See, that's part of you living your dream too, and your potential. You know what your dreams are and were, you know, and you don't like the dreams that you have, and you want to change them. So you made an effort today. That's a lot to do with. That has a lot to do with people achieving their own dreams. We can see people with all the potential in the world, but they don't have the confidence. We can see people with all the potential in the world, and they are lazy. Some of them are our children, and sometimes we do have to encourage, manipulate, influence. You know, there's so many different ways that you would have to try to get that child or that person involved in reaching out their better potential. Don't get me wrong, they might realize it later on. Maybe they don't have the confidence, or maybe they are lazy because they feel like it's so far out of reach and that they can't get it. Maybe they don't realize it's that easy. Like what Curtis said a second ago. If we spend more time showing our younger generations how to make money, or how to survive and make a career out of what they are good at, then we would have more happy people. Exactly. We would have been able to capitalize more off of hip hop more than other people did. See, at one point in time, we had something on our hand, this hip hop thing, man, we just thought it was fun. Yeah. What Curtis was saying about having fun, it was just fun to us. You know, we tell people right now they ought to quit doing rap music because they're too old, like it's nursery rhyme. But isn't it an art? Isn't it an art form? Isn't it like rock and roll, a country, a gospel? Has gospel got an age limit on it? And maybe fairy tales. But see, if we don't respect our own value enough, then it will slip through our hands and we'll start living somebody else's dreams. When really and truly, all the dreams and success is right here within us.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Leonard. Captain Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, just want to definitely encourage the brother.
Yes, sir.
To always remember it's about what you want. It's about what you desire. Do you desire that which is right and is good? Because if you do, God will help you get that thing. Whatever it is, it's going to happen. However, you have to be careful about the mistakes and things you may have made. Those things that may have trapped you before. Now you out of the trap. Now you're trying to work your way back into some sense of normalcy. So what'll happen is you may look at things a little different. Your dreams may be so powerful, but don't let them destroy your reality.
Come on.
You woke up. You woke up.
No, sir.
You woke up. That's all it took. You woke up. No more dream.
Oh, I stay in my dreams. No, I don't have a problem having these nightmares. I just, I had to speak on it. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of my dreams, but I just had to speak on it. I had to let someone know that, God let me see y'all show and see that. And I literally, I had a conversation with myself about dreams last night, and the chances are 1 in a million to see that on your screen when I pull up. You know what I mean? And y'all are still here. Usually close out 40 minutes ago, and I was trying to get some prayer in before. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy to see that. And also, Rico, real quick, if you could DM me, man, I feel the same way. I feel like I've known you before. I've seen your face, not your face, but I've known someone like you. It's a weird thing, man. But ever since I've seen you guys, man, I feel the same way, Rico. It's kind of weird.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And see, and I'm gonna tell you something, Jacob. This is just a testimony. This is just a small testimony, right? A small testimony that God is still there. God is still alive. God is still living, man. Because how this thing lined up, and you say that it's amazing how you had this conversation yesterday and then it come today, and all the way it played itself out. And I love what Rico said, man. You took the first step, brother. You took the first step. You took the first step. You've already you've taken a step. Now don't worry about what's behind you. Don't worry about what's behind you, because you've stepped away from that. And so continue going on the path, on the journey, and know that God got you. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
One of the things that really weigh heavy on my heart, and riding around the city and dealing with the population I deal with and doing what I do, even as a hobby, is and what the brother's going through, it really makes me think about it, is that all too often we overlook just how powerful of a people and or person we are. I heard the brother say that he keep having these dreams, right? So I'm gonna flip it. Although they are bad dreams, I'm gonna flip it. Brother, when you get a chance, I want you to really sit down and read the story of Joseph. Because all of Joseph's dreams and all the dreams that was brought before him to be interpreted were not good dreams. Some of them were extremely horrific. When we talk about a state of a dream, you're talking about, I think it's called the delta phase of sleep. So that is like the deepest phase of sleep that you can be in, almost to the point that scientifically they say the body can actually experience OBEs, which is out-of-body experiences, right? So we're talking about the most powerful state of sleep that can transcend your spirit from one place to the other while you are physically laying in bed, right? And now, when you think about it at that level of power, right? If God showed you a dream of famine on God's level, can you imagine how frightening that dream may be? Where you are being forced to watch millions of people starve, die, become they can't defend themselves. You know what I mean? So the larger thing, I think at this point, is to try your best to not only stay rooted, but to feed your spirit, so that then you can become the interpreter of these dreams. Because sometimes, just from my experience, God has given me a bad dream that in all reality had a good meaning. Real quick, I'll give you an example. From the time I was 6 years old all the way up until I hit about 35, 36, I used to have the scariest dream in the world, and it had nothing to do with murder and mayhem. It had everything to do, the whole dream, it was a reoccurring dream. I was in a black box. Nobody else was in the box, right? And I kept hearing my name. And it would start at a whisper, and it would go as loud to the point that it would hurt my ears, and I would wake up. From 6 to about 35, 36, right? So for years, I was scared to tell folks that dream. And one day, I was sitting down with one of the matriarchs of my church. And she said to me, I don't know why she said it, but she said, "What really ails you?" And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? I'm blah, blah, blah. I was a minister in the church at the time. I'm good." She said, "No, Curtis, what ails you? There's something that bothers you tremendously, and I can see it." So I had to be honest with her, and I told her about this recurring dream. And she said, "Son, why are you scared?" She said, "That ain't nothing but God calling your name. God is calling you." You understand? But for years, that dream scared me, man. It scared the daylights out of me.
Good deal. Good deal. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I kind of watch myself when I see some stuff in people's lives, because I don't like to talk in folks' lives. So I'm gonna throw this out here and see if somebody catch it. God is sick of our foolishness. And when he gets tired, he does something. And we should not get caught up in the wrong place when he gets to the point that he is really tired of us being repetitive, like a dog returning to vomit. So he pays close attention to a lot of us, but some of us just don't get it. And what I'm saying is that I believe that his divine favor is awesome, especially when he handpick you to come out, call you out of. And so when he calls you out, answer.
Yes.
Answer. And forget about the past. The worst thing, the hardest part of us is to forget about the past. Do not, and I'm just saying this to you, young man, don't mention talking about, I understand where you are. I'm talking about probation and stuff. Don't speak no more in your life. Don't do that. Don't do speak that. Negativity. Don't do that, sir. Don't do that. Stay and follow after righteousness. I guarantee you're gonna be awesome in your community, because people that don't have no past probably can't tell nobody else about their future.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So just don't other people are gonna remind you of your past. Don't worry about that either. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm. That's
Go
good.
to the head towards the future because it's far much better. I'm just saying. I ain't stupid, but I ain't too smart.
No, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rico.
Hey, can I get 2 seconds?
2 seconds. Yes, sir.
Can I get 2 seconds?
Yes, sir.
Real quick, one of y'all mentioned, I forget which one, said they had reoccurring dreams. Well, you guys ever heard of sleep apnea, where you're half asleep and you're half awake, and you feel like the devil's on you? That's what it felt like to me back in the day, right? And I ain't had this for like 4 years. I've been clean off of it. That's what I want to say. But no, what I'm getting at is that he said, and another man, one of you brothers said, address it. When God calls, address it. You know what I'm saying? Like when God's calling for you, you answer. You know what I'm saying? And that was obviously demonic. Like that's what I believe. It was something demonic because it felt evil, right? And I used to be scared. I would literally scream, right? And I have my eyes open. I see the television going. I know I'm half asleep and I feel pressure on my chest and I'm screaming out loud, but nothing's coming out. Finally, I prayed on it. Finally, this is about 4 or 5 years ago. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to stay in that state of mind. I'm going to try to stay in there and I'm going to try to fight this demon. I'm going to figure out what he wants from me and I'm going to fight this man, this demon. And guess what? I did that, and that demon was scared. The fact, when I was shouting out God and everything, and the demon was scared the fact that I wanted to hang out. I wanted to be like, yo, what's going on, man? Can you tell me his deal? Why you keep messing with me? I haven't had him mess with me since. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if anybody else has ever had that experience where you felt you was half asleep, half awake, and you felt something pushing on your chest, and it was evil feeling. I don't know if any of y'all have ever had that, man, but I know there's other people I've talked to about it, and they have.
Okay, good deal.
Yes, sir.
Goddess, you wanted to say something?
I had it.
Hold on. Goddess, you wanted to say something? Goddess, you there? Well, let's go to Miss Toya with the T. Good morning. How you doing, young lady?
Good morning. I'm early for tomorrow, y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking about all your dreams, Toya. Are your dreams yours?
Are your dreams what?
Are your dreams yours? Do they belong to you?
Oh, yeah, they could belong to somebody else too. You die with them and go to the grave. But oh boy, listen. The last conversation that he just had, so true, so real. Don't talk to the devil because he will follow you from that point on. And yeah, sleep paralysis, sleep paralysis.
She speak up. I can barely hear it.
Oh, Toya, they said they can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There you go. They say they can hear you now.
Okay, so yeah, the sleep paralysis. That's another one too. Yeah, that's some weird stuff I've been going on ever since I challenged the devil. So yes, absolutely, those things are true. But yeah, my dreams are mine. And the crazy part is, what about ever since I had my internal bleeding issue, it's very hard to dream. Ever since I surrendered to the Lord, it's very hard to dream. But when I have them, it's like of something significant, like a warning or something like that. But no, absolutely, I believe that our dreams are ours. I believe that it is a attachment to the other world. Like we walk around down here, I feel like it's the spirit world. Like you feel things through that way, and I think it's deja vu. But absolutely, I believe our dreams are ours. And I believe that they need to be protected, they need to be covered, and I believe they need to be fed. And I think that, feeding your spirit, making sure you're covered, I think that help protect you and your dreams. But absolutely, they are yours, honey. Don't leave them in your head and die with them.
Goddess, you wanted to say something?
Be careful of the TV. When you go to sleep at night, turn that TV off. Give that time for you and God to bond. Go to sleep praying. Pray yourself to sleep. And then, because that TV will bring all kind of demonic possessions within you, depending on what channel that you're watching. That's your spirit realm as you're going to sleep. And a lot of people don't realize that. Just really depending on what you're watching. And when as you continue on through life, and what Donald Toussaint is saying, all that negative, nobody needs to know what your past is. They need to know what you're walking in the future. Your steps in the future that you're walking toward.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk with your head up and your shoulders back.
Oh, my head stays up now.
Yeah, I'm quite sure it does, and it should. But as you continue on, he has nothing in this world for you. The devil has nothing. Don't even give him that acknowledgement. Acknowledge that fact. Yeah, we know that you exist. So give thee behind thee.
Mm-hmm.
I step on your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Move around.
That's it.
Rico?
I think you got to feed yourself some positivity. The dream, our dreams are ours. Even the dreams for aspirations to have a successful life down the road, those are our dreams. Or to become whatever we want to become. If we decide we want to be strippers like Cardi B or dope dealers like Frank Lucas, those dreams are ours. Also, the dreams that we have at night that keep us up, they're ours too. We got to remember, this brain that we got, it don't sleep. Even when we sleep, this brain working. Sometimes you can have that TV on at night and it's taking in the wrong information. Then sometimes you can have the TV on and it's taking in good information. Unconscious thinking, unconscious reception. Same thing with your desires. You desire joy, you start finding ways to bring more joy into your environment. That way, when you walk into these lions things, you walk into these negative situations, you can still look and say, there go that debauchery again. But I'm glad they can't get me with that. See, when you start getting to the point where it's affecting you when you sleep unconsciously, that means that energy is having an impact. See, we got to respect that energy. We got to respect that unconscious energy that we receive. So it's big. It was good that she said that about turning the TV off. But at the same time, sometimes people turn on meditation music. Sometimes people turn on gospel or church programming so they can hear the word while they sleep. Now, let me tell you what your brain will do. When Anna Nicole Smith died, I knew every single detail about her death by the time I woke up. I didn't have to turn on the news anymore because I heard it all while I was asleep. When T.O. was doing his push-ups in the driveway, and then they said, oh, he almost killed himself. It made headline news, all they talked about all day. I kept it on ESPN this day. While I was asleep, I got the exact story, even as it changed from one scenario to another. By the time I awakened, I was fully informed. So, that's why it is important, like she said, that you be careful what you're listening to, the energy that you're bringing around you, because you listen, you're going to take in what you're experiencing while you're awake, but when you sleep, you're taking it in too. So if you listen to a certain type of music, you watching Showtime, certain type of music, movies, action movies, where there's a lot of shooting and fighting going on, you're probably going to be fighting in your dreams, but you ain't going to be fighting a predator. You're going to be fighting these people on the street that you met yesterday that made you mad, that just violated you or ticked you off or disrespected you or disrespected you. So, you really have to influence that desire. You have to make that effort to bring that desire of joy to you. That way you can counter that negativity.
Good deal. We got 5 minutes before we get out of here. We got 5 more minutes before we get out of here, man. I want to touch a few more people. Captain Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, just listening. It's an interesting conversation. I think that a lot of people, if you get into a practice, it becomes even easier when you prepare to lay down to go to sleep. I usually tell people I don't dream a lot. because my mind does so many things when I'm awake. It has to take a break. But even when I have dreams, I used to have a lot of nightmares and things. But you know what? I became so bad that I didn't have the dreams anymore. Because usually in the nightmares, now I don't have many nightmares. But what my issue is in some dreams is sometimes I'm blind. The things I rely on the most, I don't have. Very trained in using weapons. But in my dreams, I have the gun always jams. Those types of things. But even then,
down, right?
all those things associated with negative dreams went away once I commanded them to. It was just, I'm just tired of the foolishness. I'm tired of everything else and whatever is causing my mind to do this. I command in the name of Christ, cease and desist. Anytime something's going on around me, peace, be still. Anytime I don't want to address something, I put things off. I've been worried about. I said, you know what? Now it's time to take care of it. Pick up the phone, do whatever I got to do. It's nothing. Sometimes I've created issues for myself. And really, your mind is so vast that it will pose several options to you. It'll pose several realities to you that exist in other time and other space, and we may not figure them out. That's why we have a lot of people who are dream interpreters or what have you. But trust me, brother, you don't even have to interpret the dream if you don't want. If you don't want to have nothing to do with that dream, tell it to leave. And it'll leave. If there's a decision that you feel that you must make, pray about it and make that decision and move ahead with whatever it may be. Don't let things keep you, even dreams keep you from doing that which you want to do. The devil knows your mind. He knows what your desires. He's the master of all things evil. And he never is going to work with you for your good. And I remember having a dream about my father who had died 20 years prior to the dream. Had come to me in a dream and told me to do something. And immediately I knew it was not my father. It looked like him. It smelled like him. But the very words that the devil spoke, I recognized them. And I knew it wasn't my father. So be very careful and don't allow the dream to manipulate your reality. You can lay the dream down. You can lay the dream down if you practice.
Got disconnected there for a second, y'all. I got disconnected there for a second, but back on with you now. Badger, anything on your heart? We're ready to get out of here. Actually, it's at 10 o'clock, but I'm ready to get on out of here. Badger, anything on your heart right now before we go?
Just weigh everything. And figure out what feels right to the individual in their heart.
Wow, that's good.
Because a lot of things out there can lead us astray if we let it.
Yes, definitely, Badger. Thank you for saying that.
Exactly. Good deal, Curtis. Real quick, bro. It's 10 o'clock. We got to get on out of here real quick. What's on your heart?
Man, God bless you.
Hey, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. God's blessings for God's people.
Good. Good deal. We and we lost. We got kicked off. We got disconnected, so we lost a few of the callers. We actually going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for calling in and being a part of the conversation. Man, this was powerful today, boy. Rico, what's on your heart? Quick version, brother.
If your dream is like Martin Luther King's, you got that type of vision, follow that dream. Continue to follow that dream.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me see who else we got here. Toya with a T.
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart before we get out of here?
Hey, man, it is what it is. As long as you're a child of God, just know that you're protected no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Who is Stick to Get? They just told me to DM them, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no. That's the brother. Just there's Jacob.
I mean, but I don't know his name or anything on Facebook. I need all that to be able to DM.
Jacob Long. He just put on a Jacob Long.
Rico.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you can whisper on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all tell me about a whole lot of stuff. I don't know nothing about no whispering.
No, I know that's right, Rico. That's all new.
Oh, I forgot we had hold on, Goddess. We ain't come to you, sister. I forgot you was there. I'm sorry about that. What's on your heart? Real quick version now. Don't get long-winded on me now.
I think you just protect your energy. Protect your energy. It's the only thing that's on my heart. Protect your energy. Surround yourself with positive energy. The same thing we be continue to saying.
Absolutely. Well, we
right. One more thing too. We did leave something out when it comes to these dreams.
What's that?
Sometimes people have dreams and they're premonitions, and we don't realize it till after the premonition came true. So that's another aspect of dreams that we didn't address. But I think sometimes when you have those dreams, let that be confirmation that it's something bigger than me and you out there that's driving us, that's leading us. And never hesitate to follow those dreams if they're positive.
Exactly. That's what Stick to Get said that to you there, Rico. He said he don't know how to do nothing on Facebook. So if you figure it out.
We had to get some tutorials from Badger.
Exactly. Let me see. Toussaint, you back with us? I think we lost Toussaint. Yeah, we lost Toussaint. Let me go to you know what? Leonard, better yet, Leonard, we're gonna switch roles a little bit. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today? We're gonna get Captain Leonard to pray us out today.
At 3:00 today, if you missed today's show, you can catch it in its entirety. Once again, at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Captain Leonard, pray us out, sir.
Yes, sir. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. We pray right now that anyone listening to this broadcast, that you reach out and touch them the only way that you can, so they know that you are true and that you are divine, that you are the greatest benefactor and all they need to survive. I pray that each and everyone listening today feels the presence of the Holy Spirit in their life as a guide to facilitate their best decisions, to warn them of all dangers and fears, and to definitely do understand that God will work all those things out for your good if you trust and believe. These and other blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
It's been a great broadcast, brother. It's been a great broadcast, sisters. This has been it's been good today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. It's now 10:05. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. I want to thank everybody for joining us. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Y'all take care of each other. Love you and be good.